All right, we're going to talk about coaching. Cowboys signed another coach for the quarterback room, and basically everybody knows that this guy going to be kind of like a player's coach, basically. Seneca Wallace. I know people probably remember him when he played for the Seattle Seahawks. He was drafted in 2003, I believe. Fourth round draft pick, by the way. And he bounced from team to team, but he ultimately ended up in Green Bay land and, of course, under Mike McCarthy. And I'm thinking that what he's trying to do is trying to really get somebody that knows the system, that can get these quarterbacks up to play and up to par, what have you. And I'm thinking that when we look at this, it's a good signing, meaning that this football season is long and is short at the same time. Let me say this again. The football season is long and is short at the same time. So when we look at Ben DiNucci and when we look at actually Andy Dalton and Dak Prescott, they need voices in their ears of the particular system. And why not bring in somebody who played in the system, who knows the system, and on top of that, who's athletic? So he can implement some of the things as it relates to when you're running the ball and these sorts of things. And just let's just be real about it. You know, this season is such a weird one that, yes, we need more ears out there and somebody that really got a pulse of this offense. So I love the signing of Seneca Wallace. I do like the fact that he worked with our dog, George Teague. So this is going to be a great, great situation. Me, Big Game James, and Scott Walker Steele, we're working on some things with George Teague. So this could be very intriguing to have somebody that's so close to George Teague as it relates to Seneca Wallace. So that's a story of a different day on how we're going to implement that. But I will say this, Cowboy Nation. Let's not look at everything and be negative. Let's not look at everything and say, well, he's not proven and these sorts of things, because we do have Scott Tolzien, who's also a quarterback coach / offensive coach, what have you, who worked hand to hand with Mike McCarthy and played under Mike McCarthy. And he's from Nebraska as well. So I think he kind of worked with Travis Frederick for a brief second. I think he was on his way out while Travis Frederick was on his way in. So there are so many, and of course we know that Travis Frederick is not on this team, right? He retired. But there's so many nuances. And on top of that, I will say this. Hear me out. I think that Travis Frederick will still maybe call in or come out to the camp when time permits, or give Zoom calls, whatever may happen, and still give these guys pointers and advice, because he don't like the game. He loved the game. But, you know, he had to make a drastic decision, a great one at that, you know, about his health and everything. Also, with that being said, undisclosed injuries. There's an undisclosed injury of Lyle Collins. I don't think that there's something that's major. I think that it's just something that's pretty much is caution. You want to take caution. Of course, like I said, the season is long, but it's short at the same time. So you want those who get a significant injury to rest themselves. And that could be the case in a scenario. So when I look at this team, it's just different from what we've seen in the past and the way we handle and operate things. So I'm really feeling that this team is doing the right thing of saying, okay, let's pump the brakes. It was week 1 last week, or day 1, or what have you. There's no need to rush them. You know, you can't rush perfection. And speaking of that, Everson, he'll be ready on Monday to get out there to showcase his talent, to pick up everything else. Look, I love this defense. The rotational aspect of it, the way we handled everything during the offseason. And I don't think that we're done from here. I think that this team is still looking for people. Still like turning over every stone and saying, okay, what's under there? Oh, let's see what's under here, you know. So this team is completely different. Completely. I just love the way we handling things right now. Thinking ahead, making these type of situations. And when you guys look up your Seneca Wallace and do your own homework, you'll see, man, He's not the best of the best as it relates to throwing the ball, but I think that he was a cerebral guy, and he was athletic, and he went against the grain. They wanted him to pretty much transition to a wide receiver, and he was like, nah, I want to be a quarterback. Yes, he was athletic. And I'm thinking that the way the Cowboys would look at that and say, okay, how can you transfer some of the knowledge, some of the resistance that helped you afloat or kept you afloat while you was playing in the National Football League? And how can you pour upon that information to Randy Dakota Prescott, Andy Dalton, and as well as Ben? So everything can work its way out. We just got to continue to grind and shine. And I'm telling everybody right now, this team is completely different. This team is on pace to doing some crazy things. And I'm saying all of this stuff, and I haven't even brought up the wide receiver core, the running back. It's crazy, Cowboy Nation. It is flat out crazy and good at the same time. So speaking of that, that's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Let's go. Let's go.